Hello and Pockets here. Welcome back. Another week opening packs. Last week we opened 3 packs. We did all right. I mean, nothing super exciting. I am excited about the dragon we opened. It's been stuffed in the deck. I haven't had a chance to play it, but we're gonna start another week with another pack. We'll do 3 more this week, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, hopefully we get something exciting in here. As usual, I'm gonna do a sort of a pack rip where we go through relatively quick, and then for those that are interested, I will go back through and give my thoughts and some discussion and see what we can do. So let's crack the pack and let's see what we're doing. Come on. Ooh, yeah, that was a good rip. This is going to be a good pack. It opened nice. My fingers weren't sausages. We could actually get the cards out of the pack, but let's take a look. So there's our Rebel token. Phyrexian Might on the back. Okay. I think that's our second Might card. Let's see what we get. First card. The Seed Core Land Sphere in the pack foil. Nice. Extended art. Uh-oh. Planeswalker. The Mangakaya. Extender, not foil, but we'll have to see what she does. Again, we'll actually read the cards at the end in the second piece of the video, so we'll just, for now, just stick this down here. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I think this must be a hit. You guys have to let me know in the comments down below, but this has got to be a hit, right? This is the Urbrask Heretic Praetor in the step completed concept art. Oh yeah. Okay, well, I'm excited about that. That's awesome. That's our first mythic rare. That's our first rare or better, I think, in the step. Okay, that's exciting. We'll have to read what he does in a minute. I don't remember. I didn't play during, I think that was Streets of New Capenna, so I really don't know. I have to read him. Oops. Microphone just hit my light. That's weird. Necrogen Rot Priest. Again, this is like a standard foil, but it's super subtle because there's so much black. It's really hard to see the foil. But yeah, the camera picks it up pretty good, though. So cool. We'll read that in a minute. Oh, I'm excited about Urbrask now. Quicksilver Fisher, we got last one, but this is in the regular, whatever they called it, Ichor. It's got the black border. It's a very subtle difference between the full art and the border on those because of all the white. Okay, so this is the commander. Okay, that's cool. I didn't end up buying any of the precons this time around because I wanted to focus on my decks. But this is the commander from the new precon, so we'll read what she does. That's exciting. Could just build her now straight up. Doesn't go on top of Urbrask, but whatever. We'll get that in a minute. Microsynth Gardens, Land Sphere. We'll take a look at what that does. It's very exciting. I'm very excited about Urbrask. That's like our first, I would consider a hit in 4 packs so far. Another Seed Core. That's 2 of those, one in the foil and one in the full art foil. Yeah, full art foil and regular foil. We got one of these last week, but that's okay. I don't mind having extra cool lands. This one's foiled as well. You never know when you want a cool land for a deck. Put that down over here. Revenous Necrotitan, uncommon, in the foil. Exuberant Fuseling, little goblin warrior dude. He's cool. I like that. It's cute looking. Maybe it's good for a goblin deck I don't currently have that I will build. We will see when we get to the discussion. Restvine Cultivator common. What's that? There's a little mark on this one. That's interesting. Like a tear in the foil or something? I don't know. Okay. Luckily it's just a common. Contagious Vorak. Chimney Rabble. More Goblin Warriors. Phyrexian Goblins. Meldweb Curator. Alright. Oh, that's a... Glad it's a common. That came out of the pack like that. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera too well, but it's bent here on the corner. I'll turn it sideways so you can see. Okay, well, at least it's just a common, so not too bad. Okay, let's take a look. Obviously, the big boy, Urbrask, we'll start with him in the stepped completed foil. Gorgeous card. I don't even know what he does, and I'm excited to build him. We'll see what happens. 5 mana for a 4/4 legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor from Streets of New Capenna. With haste, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play this turn. That's a good effect in red. Always use the impulse draw. I believe that's what we call it. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, the next time they would draw a card this turn, instead they exile the top card of the library and they may play it this turn. So this is I'm gonna have to think about that. That's kind of a cool effect because if they can't cast it or it's not good for their turn, it stays next to them. They don't get to cast it anymore. So it doesn't increase their hand either because it's instead. It's not that and then draw. I like this. I could see something here. Maybe, yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. I like that. Ix, Ixel, Scion of Atraxa. One white, black, green for legendary creature Phyrexian Angel. I like angels. This one's really cool. I like the art. I'm actually maybe glad it's not foil, because the foil is going to be the more common one, I would imagine, since it's in the precon, right? Uh, sorry. One white, black, green for 2/5 legendary creature Phyrexian Angel. Flying, Vigilance, and Toxic 2. Okay, so whenever it does combat damage to the opponent, they get 2 poison counters. Vigilance is not a nothing card in these colors. Corrupted at the beginning of your upkeep, each step, or at the beginning of your end step, each opponent who has 3 or more poison counters exiles the top card of their library face down. Bring that back into frame. Where am I? You may look at the card for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were any color to cast those spells. Oh, you may look at and cast. Oh, but she doesn't have to stay on the table either. As long as they're there, they're yours to use. That's kind of cool. A little bit of setup to get it, but that's kind of cool. Oh, Herbrask, you're just gonna go. You know what? I'm pretty sure you're hit. So I've had these on hand. I'm gonna grab one of my little sleeves, and we're just gonna slide you in there. Nice and careful. Fewer fingerprints. Picked up a little dust from somewhere, but that's okay. There we go. I'll worry about the actual flap on the back later, but we'll sleeve that up and we'll put it right there. That's cool. All right, let's see what these guys are. So we got 2 of these seed cores. Sorry, I was sorting them off camera. That was not my intention. But you guys saw me open them, so you'll know I'm not messing around. All right, the seed core, land sphere. It's another sphere. Add 1 colorless mana. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast Phyrexian creature spells. Okay. And then if it's corrupted, so again, if one of your opponents has 3 or more poison counters, tap target 1/1 creature gets +2/+1 until end of turn. Activate only if one has 3 or more poison counters. So this would be cool in like that mites deck, I think. You know, you create a bunch of mites and then you guys make them a little stronger if you need to. Maybe Phyrexian stuff. That's cool. Maybe in some sort of artifact deck with 1/1 like Ornithopters or Thopters, or whatever, Gyrothopters, whatever the hell they're called. I can't think at the moment. You know what I'm talking about. Thopters, yes. 1/1 Thopters. And there's the seed core again in the standard art, so I got 2 of those. Microsynth Gardens. I don't think we saw this one before, so we'll take a look. Land Sphere, tap to add 1 colorless. 1 and tap to add 1 mana of any color, so a filter, which is not terrible in a budget land base. It's not as good as tapping for any color, but it's good in a pinch. An X tap Microsynth Gardens becomes a copy of target non-token artifact you control with mana value X. Not till end of turn either. So you could, copy a Soul Ring or a Mana Vault, or that's cool. I could see that being useful, especially in like an artifact deck. You don't need the mill ability. You just copy your best. Cool. Oh yeah, and then Kaya. I forgot she was in here in the manga art. Kaya, Intangible Slayer. I believe that's what it says. Can't see it through her fingers. 3 white, white, black, black. So 7 mana Planeswalker with 6 loyalty. Hexproof. Always nice. Of course, Kaya has hexproof. Or something like it. +2. Each opponent loses 3 life. You gain 3 life. Okay. For 0, you draw 2 cards, and then each opponent may scry 1. Scrying's not so bad. It just gives them an idea what's coming up. They don't actually draw it, so that's totally worth it. And then for -3, so no real ultimate on this one. That's cool. Exile target creature enchantment. If it wasn't an aura, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types. Oh, interesting. That's a cool card. I like that. I could see put that in like a Orzhov based deck, obviously Orzhov, or something else with black white. That's cool. I like that. I could see some uses for that. Take your opponent's creature with the best ability and turn it into a spirit on your side. Great, yeah. Interesting. Sorry, my brain is spinning. We'll have to think about that a little more. Uncommons, Exuberant Fuseling. We haven't seen this before. 1 mana, 0/1 with Trample for a Phyrexian Goblin Warrior. Exuberant Fuseling gets +1/+0 for each oil counter on it. When Exuberant Fusing enters the battlefield, and whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter on him. Oh, so he comes out as a 1/1 with Trample. And he gets bigger as things on your side of the table die. Okay, that's interesting. And in a Goblin deck, I mean, you put that in like a Krenko deck or something. And as you're throwing goblins at your opponents, he's just getting bigger. Find a way to give him like protection or indestructible or something. Ravenous Necro Titan. 2 black for a 6/6 Phyrexian horror with Corrupted. Whenever Ravenous Necro Titan enters the battlefield, sacrifice a creature unless an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Okay, so I think this would be more of a limited card. Although 4 mana 6/6 even in Commander isn't terrible, but it doesn't really do anything else. So I'd probably see it more as a limited card, but it's cool. I'd play that in limited. Draft it. Necrogen Rot Priest. 2 black-green. I am kind of thinking black-green or Abzan for my next deck, so maybe this is it. For Phyrexian Zombie Cleric. Toxic 2. Oh, sorry, it's 2 black-green for a 1/5. With Toxic 2, whenever creature you control with Toxic deals combat damage to a player, that player gets an additional poison counter. So that goes straight into the Ixel deck, doesn't it? Like, no-brainer into that deck. Because that would mean that if Necrogen hit, does 1 damage, but they get 3 Toxic counters, and if Ixel hits, that's 3 as well. That's cool. Target creature, so 1 black-red, target creature you control with Toxic gains Death Touch on turn. Yeah, this goes straight in, like that, right into this deck here with Ixel. If it's not in there in the pre-con, it'd be, I could see this being added quite quickly. I like that. Exciting stuff. Very interesting things in this set so far. There's some commons we haven't seen, so I will go through them. This is my bent one. Hopefully it's not good. Let's see. 3 in a blue. Sorry, hit the mic. 3 in a blue. When Meldweb Curator enters the battlefield, put up to 1 target instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard on top of your library. Okay, so in a Spellslinger deck, I could see this being used. It's 4 mana. Take a spell you want out of your graveyard and draw it at your next draw. And it's 4 mana for a 3/4, so that's not a nothing blocker either. Probably really good and limited. 4's maybe a little slow. I don't know how aggressive the format is, but with Toxic, it's probably pretty aggressive. So it might be a little slow, but 3/4 is a good blocker, and getting back your best spell that you've cast. Can't complain. Removal, always a premium for removal. Chimney Rabble, another goblin. 3 and a red for a 3/3 Phyrexian Goblin Warrior with haste. So 3/3 haster is not terrible. When Chimney Rabble enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature token. Okay, so it's actually 4 mana for 4/4. 3 of it has haste. And you get another token, which in a Goblin deck, who knows how big that's going to be. That's cool. I can see that. Might actually also be good and limited. 3 mana, 3 power hasters, and then a blocking body staying behind. Contagious Vorak. 2 in a blue. 2 in a blue. That's definitely not a blue. 2 in a green for a 3/3 Phyrexian Boar Beast. That's cool art in the foil. So we have some like Phyrexian stuff in the back and the moons. Or the suns. I guess they're suns probably. Well, that's a sun. That's a moon. Sure. Good art. When Contagious Vorak enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a land card from among them, put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom in a random order. If you didn't put a card in your hand this way, proliferate. The other green card we got last week is probably more likely to show up, but this could be good and limited. Helps you hit land drops, and failing that, hopefully you have some oil counters at the very least, or toxic on or poison counters on your opponents. This is the one with the mark. Rustvine Cultivator, 1 green for 1/2. So 1 for a 1/2, I mean, especially in limited, that's not bad right off the start. Get this out on turn 1 and you stop their first drop, probably, their 1 drop. Tap to put an oil counter on Rustvine Cultivator, and then tap to remove an oil counter to untap target land. Okay, so if you don't need it, you can put some counters on it, you can proliferate, and then if you have a way to untap it, I mean, you can untap multiple lands a turn as well, so that's kind of cool. Definitely limited. Probably won't see much play. I wouldn't put it. It's an elf, so maybe it shows up in some sort of elf deck, but there's a lot of elves that tap for mana, so maybe not. Unless there's, again, a way to untap it a lot so you can benefit from the oil counters. And the Quicksilver Fisher we saw last time, but flying when Quicksilver enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. 5 mana, 4/3 flyer, good limited card. Alright, so that's the pack. Obviously a lot better than probably all 3 of the previous packs combined. This Urbrask, man, makes me want to build a red deck around him. But we'll see what else we get in this set. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below, and we'll see you all next time. Take care.